Hello, Lake County, Florida, and welcome to Around the House, sponsored by Romac Lumber and Supply. I'm your host, Don Magruder, and you're listening to my 790 AM WLBE in beautiful Leesburg, Florida. And I also like to welcome all our viewers who are watching Lake-Sumter Television. We've got a very special show for you today. Plus, I want to remind everyone, be sure to catch the Around the House column every Wednesday in the South Lake Press and every Friday in the Daily Commercial. Romac Lumber has been serving Central Florida since 1945, and for almost 69 years, the company has been a leading innovator and supplier of construction materials. Today is our new product showcase, and we'll be featuring 3 products which we believe represents the growing new trend and innovation in the building materials. Each of our 3 segments will feature a new product and a manufacturer's representative who can tell us about the features and benefits of this product. Our first new product feature is PVC cellular boards and molding. Bob Gora is the Territory Manager for Royal Building Products, which is one of the nation's largest manufacturers of PVC cellular products. PVC cellular products are sweeping the construction industry as a solution to rot and deterioration while giving the appearance of wood. With that, I'd like to introduce Bob Gora. Hello, Bob. How are you doing today?
Don, thank you. Doing well.
It's a great day. Thank you for taking a minute and being with us today. Bob, take a few moments and tell us about Royal Building Products and about the company. It's a great company.
Sure, thank you. Royal Building Products is a division of the Axial Corporation. My company, Royal Building Products, is one of the world's largest manufacturers of high-quality PVC trim, molding, siding, windows, deck, a number of different products that we have out in the marketplace into the distribution channels and servicing wonderful companies like Romac.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a leading product because you guys do everything from the manufacturing to the final product, and that's a big deal. Now let's get to the heart of our discussion. Tell our listeners exactly what PVC cellular products are.
Well, PVC cellular products are sort of, you're talking about the next wave in building materials. I look at the building materials industry as the wood better best. I feel that our product is positioned in the best category. Those categories are separated by organic and non-organic materials. Okay, do you absorb water or do you not? We are a non-organic family of products. The cellular products, the PVC cellular products, are made essentially where you have a vinyl, you have a PVC that's mixed with a foam interior, which is a cell structure of high density. That is extruded downline, cooled, and takes its form and shape, and comes with an amazing 25 and sometimes plus warranties to far out exceed the wood, HDP, and some of the composite materials today.
And you mentioned composite. It's totally different than composite.
Yes, sir.
Composites have a wood in it.
That's correct. And that's sort of almost the nature of the word, in that it's a mixture of different things. Traditionally, you have milk jugs, wood fibers, a lot of post-consumer recycled materials. This is virgin PVC and cellular structure, so we don't have post-consumer product in our trim and moldings.
And the advantage of this, it will not deteriorate.
That's correct. It is a non-organic product, so you're not susceptible to a lot of the things, the warping, the cracking, the splintering, the rotting, the general water absorption.
So what would you say are the main benefits of Royal Building Products trim and moldings?
Well, the main benefits are basically the non-organic structure. So when you're using trim and moldings today on exteriors, you're having and coming into case with a lot of different bugs, infestation, termites, water absorption. A lot of the things that the two biggest elements in deterioration and breakdown are the 2 things we experience in Central Florida the most, and that's sun and water. So those are the things that hold up well with our products. That's why we are the #1 manufacturer in the United States of trim and molding PVC products.
And that market's only going to expand because of what's going on in the industry, because there's a big deal now with termites and rot.
That's correct. We're seeing a lot of different things that are happening with a lot of the breakdown of materials. Once we've gotten out of this recession, we're seeing a lot of different things, and we've seen an immense growth in this category. We have seen the trim, the molding, the siding, the deck. The entire category is expanding. We feel like we've positioned ourselves very well in the marketplace in distribution and working with companies like Romac.
Well, there's a lot of major remodel contractors at the villages who are using raw products to make summer kitchens.
Yep.
And it seems like every day people are finding different products because, as you know, when in constructing a summer kitchen, the problem with cabinets is they will rot outside.
Right.
But I've seen total kitchens made out of this product. That's what really makes it so innovative, isn't it?
It really is. One of the things that we've really brought to the table, that my company has done the best job of any manufacturer in this space, is expanded the offering. We bring dealers like yourself, your customers, the contractors, and the homeowners, a complete offering of exterior and interior profiles. So we can provide that contractor sheet products, trim products, molding products, and a host of others that I already mentioned, to get custom, to do custom things, make outdoor furniture, make outdoor kitchens. So we've really positioned ourselves well, not only on the trim and molding, but all on the exterior construction.
Now, it is installed a little differently.
It is. It is.
Won't we talk a few minutes about how it's installed and proper use in that area?
Well, it works in traditional sense that wood does. So you do have a lot of the same benefits if you're used to working with wood. That seems to be the big separation with contractors and homeowners is I want wood. Well, this reacts and does a lot of things that wood does as far as the handling of the product. Now, what it does, it doesn't break down. So a lot of things that are happening with wood in construction, splitting, okay, warping, a lot of the things you'll see with wood, this does not happen too. But you'll have a lot of different benefits when you're mitering your cuts, you're mitering joints. You do glue them. So we do recommend, in some cases with the trim and the molding, that you glue your miter joints prior to installation, versus getting up there and trying to make them match.
And the nice thing about this glue process, I know some people say, well, you glue and trim, but if you've ever been to a house, especially in Florida where you have such extremes in heat and cooling, you'll have separation. I'm told actually that when you miter a joint, there are claims that joints are actually stronger than the board at that point.
That's correct. Actually, how it's defined by engineering terms, that's actually the strongest point in the connection in some cases. If you do use the right PVC glue and or PVC cement, absolutely.
And you have a screw program that you just screw in, and you actually put a cap or something like that in it, and that keeps the board stable. If you do the correct system, that board's going to be there permanently almost, isn't it?
It will most likely outlive our kids. From a substance standpoint, the material doesn't break down.
And let's talk about, you have a trim board, but you also have a wide scope or wide variety of different products you carry. Give us an overview of the various type of products that people can buy today.
Okay. That's a great question, and we really do. And I'd like to say, first of all, thank you to Romac for having us here. And you can pick up all these products I'm about to mention at Romac Lumber Supply. So I wanted to definitely mention that. But our trim and molding packages on our exterior frames for homes, we are the third largest siding manufacturer in the United States, and that's just something worth mentioning. Our deck, our different divisions and different products will help homeowners with the different parts of their house. We have garage door systems. We have concealed window frame systems. Any one of our listeners today can go online to iTunes and for free download the Marianne Costado application, which has her 3 custom designs that you can go in and look at. Mm-hmm. In this application, each contractor and homeowner can now estimate a project on their iPad and deliver it to the homeowner on the spot.
And what you're really talking about, back in the day, you used to have to get a master trim carpenter come out to do elegant heads and trims for your doors. These are already pre-done. They're warranted against rot.
Yes, sir.
And you basically just install them and you make these beautiful openings for virtually half the price of hiring a custom guy who used to have to do it.
Right. And in some cases, we certainly do recommend a contractor, but we are talking about a product and the way it's handled with so much we offer on YouTube and different online formats on installation.
You're listening to Around the House, sponsored by Romac Lumber. I'm your host, Don Magruder, and we're having a great conversation this morning with Bob Gora. He's from Royal Building Products, talking about new PVC cellular, and it's a product that's sweeping the country, and want to share it with you today. Bob, why should someone choose Royal Building Products over others?
Well, a lot of people have a misconception in the industry that all PVC trim is the same, or it's not. Traditionally, PVC trim is sheet board that's cut, taken to another part of the factory, and the edges are sealed of the heating process. With our board, Don, we're very unique in many ways. It's a one-part process. This piece is extruded at one time. Our edges are sealed at the point of extrusion and formed downstream to cool. So once the foam comes in and seals, we have basically a true sealed product at the point of extrusion.
And that's really important if you're painting, because that's where dirt will collect.
Yes, exactly.
A big part of Florida's lifestyle are porches.
Right.
Y'all have got a product that I just love. It's a beaded sealant, and oh my goodness, it looks just like wood, but of course it will perform. You don't have the warping and the bowing and all that. Talk about the beaded sealant.
That's actually great. We have two products. We have a traditional sort of tongue and groove system, but we do have another beaded board plank that has sort of a nail fin technology, which will hide all of your conceal, all of your different fasteners or your glues or nails. So we've got two different beaded systems, and it gives that added drama, we like to call it, and also that look for crisp, sharp corners when you're doing a lot of your crown molding on your porch.
And it's real important. We're not talking about vinyl siding that you would find on a house or a mobile home or something. We're talking about products to be used on a single-family residential home.
Absolutely.
A lot of questions. People want to know, can they paint roll moldings? Is it paintable, and how easy is it to paint?
It is paintable, and we do recommend you paint all your exterior PVC profiles. Over time, it's just the nature of the product where it's going to dull. You're not going to get that shine, nice white, bright look. 10 years from now, it will get dull. We do recommend that you paint it. It is very simple. Oil-based paints and or latex paints, anybody can do it.
Bob, thank you a lot, and we'll be back in a few moments with a new product in insulation. Stay tuned.
Are you getting this, honey?
Oh, prime time. We are rolling.
All right, Mama's gonna bring it home. Mama's gonna bring it home. Okay.
Come on, watch this guy.
Oh, backwards!
Oh, don't. Oh,
It went into Bob and Carol's yard. Oh, no? Okay, here it goes.
oh no!
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
All right, let's see what you can do. Let's go.
They might surprise you.
Let's go.
Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
Welcome back to Around the House, sponsored by Romac Lumber. I'm your host, Don Magruder, and you're listening to my 790 AM WLBE in beautiful Leesburg, Florida. And we're on the television today at LSTV, Lake-Sumter Television. And this is our new product showcase. We're having a great time. And the second of the new products we want to talk today about is something I'm really excited about. It's a product called Roxul Insulation. With us today is Melanie Bisson. She is the Southeast United States Territory Manager for Roxul Insulation, and she's going to be discussing our next new product. And folks, you're going to enjoy this one. This is, it's been a long time since I've been excited about a new product, and Roxul Insulation fits the bill. Hello, Melanie. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Oh, it's fantastic, and I'm so eager to tell everyone about this product because, sadly, I wish I had it in my house.
We get that a lot.
First off, Melanie, take a minute and tell us about Roxul Incorporated. I understand they're an international company. They're not a small company.
Correct. Yeah, Roxul's part of Rockwool International. It's a Danish-based company. We have 27 plants globally. We're represented in about 40 countries. Here in North America, our headquarters are in Milton, Ontario, just outside of Toronto. And then in the U.S., we're opening our first facility outside of Memphis. It's just south of there in Byhalia, Mississippi. And that was just after a short 6 years of being in the U.S., so we're very excited about that.
And realistically, I know you were distributing from Canada, Roxul Insulation, but this new plant in Mississippi is going to really take the freight factor and make it Roxul a more abundant product. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, correct. I mean, we haven't really had a presence in the Southeast yet just because the product is so dense. It costs a lot to ship here. And like I said, we've only been in the U.S. about 6 years. We started up north, close to the Canadian border. And in that short amount of time, we've just built the demand so high that we've got a new factory coming on. It opens May 28th.
And I know Romac Lumber is one of your few stocking dealers here in Florida.
Yes.
And actually, Romac's been stocking the product probably, 2-3 years?
Yeah, a couple years. And you guys have been one of the first movers with us, and we're so thankful for that and very thankful for this opportunity to be here and talk about it.
Let's talk a minute about Roxul Insulation is called stone wool insulation. Tell me exactly what that is and what is it made of?
Yeah, so some people, we call it stone wool here in the U.S. In Europe, they call it mineral wool. And all it's made of is it's a combination of basalt rock, lava rock, and recycled slag from steel. Those two rocks are melted into their natural state, then they're spun into individual fibers, and then they're compressed and cured into these dense, semi-rigid bats. So there's no glass, there's no chemicals. It's just an oil-based binder that hold them together. That's about it.
So Roxul Insulation actually is the base product is rocks.
Rocks, that's it.
And I understand the heat. It goes through a high intense heating.
Yep.
And it spins fibers.
Yeah, we actually, if you're familiar with the Discovery Channel show, How It's Made,
Yes.
We were featured on there in our plant in Ontario a few years ago, and you can see it on our YouTube channel, but it's really impressive. I mean, the factory is extremely clean. All the water that's used is recycled. It's a very green, sustainable factory, and all that rock is just literally melted into its lava molten form and then spun like cotton candy, and it gets these very dense, very rigid shape.
Now, for someone who looks at this product, they say, well, okay, there's obviously not much difference between that and fiberglass, but there's a lot of difference.
There's a lot.
First off, I want to talk about something that's important to me. Every home has rooms in which the homeowner wants the walls to be deadened.
Mm-hmm.
For example, there's a growing belief that in the United States we're going to go to generational housing. What that means, people will have bedrooms and bathrooms and have common areas. And, of course, if you're talking to your wife or in someone in your area, you don't want to be heard, there's bathrooms. And this is one of the major benefits of this product that I first want to talk about is its ability to deaden walls. Talk a minute and talk about some of the benefits of that.
Yeah, the sound absorbency. So the way that Roxul is installed, which I'm sure we'll talk about, but it's all friction fit, which means it's never going to slump in the wall cavity.
Mm-hmm.
So you install this in between the studs or in between your floors and ceilings, and you combine that tight friction fit with just the natural state of rock in and of itself is just very sound absorbent. And you get excellent acoustic properties in your home. And you think about like the sounds that we hear on a regular basis, they're all low frequency. Our flat screens bolted to our walls, these new high flush toilets in between rooms, living near airports and just traffic in general. Those are all very low frequency, and that's where we really excel compared to other insulations, is that low frequency, and it's that friction fit and the dense, semi-rigid material of the rock that helps with the sound.
And I think the reason why I like it, I built a house 7 years ago, and I have areas in which I would have used this product had it been available. Because if you put a bedroom or a bathroom with a solid core soundproof door, which are available,
Mm-hmm.
and you put Roxul insulation, you truly can have privacy. That's the main benefit of that product. Are you seeing a lot of people buy it for that reason?
Yeah, I mean, we have two sort of brands within our residential line, and the Safe and Sound is a 3-inch, and that's designed specifically for interior walls and floors, just for fire and soundproofing. 9 times out of 10, somebody would go back and do some sort of soundproofing in their home. Especially bathrooms. You're installing all these high efficiency, high flush, and just, again, the TVs, bedroom to bedroom. All of that creates, shudder and vibration noise, and it's just so important to soundproof. And it's always about the whole wall assembly. People don't always consider that. It's not just one product, and that's where we really excel with our tech team. If you're doing like media rooms or looking at a specific STC rating, we can help with that.
Realistically, if you're thinking about a new home or remodel, or you're a draftsman or architect, everywhere you think that someone should want privacy, you should want to put Roxul Insulation interior for that privacy issue.
Absolutely.
How do you install Roxul? It's a neat installation system.
Yeah, it's so easy. You don't need any fancy certifications or anything like that. We actually created a little mini video series and micro website called DIY with Roxul.com. And it's 9 videos in English and Spanish on how to install. And all you do is just one side is a little bit more flexible than the other.
Now, see, you've got your knife.
Yes,
now,
I do have the
now,
knife.
for people listening, it's like a bread knife.
Yeah, so you just compress the size and release. The bats are 4 feet tall. But then to cut around obstructions like junction boxes and pipes, you can hear it. It literally just cuts like bread.
It looks like it, but you're actually cutting rock.
Yeah.
And the knife is not sharp. It's like a bread knife.
It's a serrated edge.
But
yeah.
but you know, the beautiful thing is you can get good tight fits.
Yes. Yep.
And it's a wonderful product. So so there's no special training or information. The other thing is it's not like fiberglass that'll eat you up.
No, I mean, I'm using my bare hands here. You know, if you're just sensitive in general to materials like that, you may just want to wear gloves. But I install displays and things all day long. And again, there's no glass, there's no chemicals. It's just an oil-based binder. So there's nothing other than small pieces of the actual rock that could bother you. And then that's it.
You're listening to Around the House, sponsored by Romac Lumber, and this is New Products Day. And we're having a great conversation with Melanie Bisson. She's with Roxul Insulation, showing us this new product, and it is tremendous. The other advantage, of course, you mentioned it was green. You can't get much greener than rocks.
Yeah.
But the other thing is its ability to handle moisture. You know, unfortunately, I've been through some hurricanes, and if you've got a little flood in your house, it's usually a total loss. But you tell me that this thing repels water. Talk about the water repellent value.
Absolutely. Roxul is hydrophobic, which means it doesn't absorb any moisture. So if you do have an isolated flood and in your house and Roxul does get wet, you can simply take down the drywall and this will air itself out and dry itself outward in a matter of hours. It will never slump in the wall. It'll never change in shape, and it won't lose its R value if it gets wet. And in addition to that, it's 100% resistant to mold and mildew, which we know in humid climates here down in Florida, that's super important.
So realistically, if say you have a wall in the house, an exterior wall, and you got all your main plumbing coming through there, or maybe you've got a water heater in that area,
Sure.
That would be a beautiful place to use this product.
Absolutely.
And if you're in a flood area, if you do have a little flood, you don't have to replace it. That's a big deal.
That's correct.
Now, most installations would be happy if that were all the benefits, but there's even more.
There is more.
We haven't talked probably about the most important benefit. It's the fire benefit.
Yeah, a lot of people get excited about the sound. I get really excited about the fire. It's probably the piece I talk about the most. In North America last year alone, there was over 500,000 injuries from a house fire and $5 billion in damage. And Roxul delays the spread of a fire from room to room because of its high melting point. So to put in perspective, a typical wood frame house fire gets to be about 18 or 1900 degrees Fahrenheit. Roxul's melting point is 2,150. So it's going to significantly delay the spread if you have this in your interior walls and in between floors and in your ceilings. And in addition to that, it doesn't create any toxic smoke. So unlike any other installations, this has a UL rating of 0 for both flame spread and smoke development. So it's very safe and very comfortable in your house.
So essentially, you're looking at a product that is soundproof, waterproof, and fireproof.
Yep. We say fire, water, sound, and fit, and we say that all day long just to hammer home those features.
And when you're talking about installing it, anybody can install it if you can handle a bread knife.
Yep.
One of the big problems, and this goes towards homeowners, here in the state of Florida, you have a lot of garages, and you have cars and water heaters and stuff. That would be a great product to use in between a garage and a home to prevent a car fires.
Absolutely. Fire separation in all areas. It does come in many different forms.
And talk about your R values. Now, a big deal in the state of Florida is what R values it comes in, and can it fit in an energy a safe home and that type of stuff. Give an overview of your R values.
Sure. Generally speaking, we range about 10 to 30% higher than fiberglass product offerings. On a 2x4 wall assembly, our 3.5-inch product is R15, and then we go to an R23 for 2x6 and an R30 for 2x8. The products are in baths. They're not in rolls. They're 4 feet tall. and they come available for both 16-inch on center, 24-inch on center, and for steel stud. So that goes back to that insulation being a friction fit. For a standard 16-inch on center, it comes 15 1/4. So all you need to do is just compress the sides and release. You can literally pull and try to tug on the bottom of the bat, and it's not going to move. And part of that installation goes into that R value. We spend a lot of time talking about effective R value versus nominal, which just simply means what it is once it's installed. We cut around a junction box here as an example, and that means you're still going to be insulated behind that obstruction. So you're always going to have maximum fit and maximum R value.
And that's one of the problems with fiberglass. It will not do that.
Correct. It'll slump.
How well does it perform in the attic?
Performs great. We actually have a new product that I brought today that we're importing from Europe called Rock Fill. And this is simply a loose fill insulation. So it's the same product, just in a loose form. So instead of blowing it in, you would just simply spread and aerate this over your existing insulation if you have an older home. Or even in new construction, you can go on top of what was already installed. And the nice thing about this is it doesn't settle over time, and it's not going to drift. So it stays, you can go against most pot lights, so you don't have to worry about fire ratings there. And it's same material. You get the same fire benefits, the same water, and the same sound.
And you have products for 2x6 and 2x4 walls?
Yes, 2x4, 2x6, 2x8.
Is the plant in Mississippi open yet?
No, it opens May 28th at 10:30 a.m. And I feel excited and confident to say that time. Rockwool International has never missed an opening date on a factory, so we will be open then.
As you look at your product, what other uses inside the home do you see Roxul being spread to?
So we have the interior walls, the exterior walls, the attic, and we also have a rigid sheathing board that can be used on the outside of the home or the building envelope, or if you do have a basement, it can go on the interior of the basement there. Cathedral ceilings, really the ease of the installation and the way that it cuts allows it to be installed in any odd size cavities or odd areas very easily.
Now, if someone had a pre-existing home or remodel and they want to make a room private, essentially they're going to have to take one side of the drywall off to insert this.
Yeah, correct. That's one of the disadvantages, is that it's not able to be blown in. And that's just simply because of the rock. It can clog some of those machines. And the properties come from it being dense and semi-rigid. So the drywall does need to come down so that it can fit in between those cavities or be laid in the floorboards.
Okay. The biggest advantage I see on the fireproof is in the garage. How well does it perform against gasoline fires and stuff like that? Is it still the temperature issue?
Yeah, it's 2,150 degrees, which is really hotter than most fires in a house even get to. Again, on the YouTube channel, we've got a really awesome demonstration of fire where we put Roxul and the stone wool in a window and just put a crib of wood on fire, and you can really see it, and it's very compelling.
And what's that website if someone wants to see it?
Yeah, so you can go to roxul.com, Roxul. We also have the DIY with roxul.com website, and our YouTube channel has hundreds of videos. We're sponsored and featured quite often on HGTV, Scott McGilvery and Mike Holmes. You can see clips from there. And definitely like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. We're always putting out content and like to engage with our customers.
And one thing we really just not talked too much about, it's what you call planet friendly.
Yeah.
Talk a minute about why is it planet friendly?
Sure. We actually have the highest Green Guard certification, which is the National Indoor Air Quality Standard. And we have the highest rating for children's in schools, And that's really because of what it's made of. Again, there's no chemicals, there's no glass. It's just an oil-based natural mineral that keeps it together, the rock. And then in addition to that, it's a lot of the practices that we have in the plant. Any of the excess product that's cut off the line is put back into the cupola, which is what melts the material. So it's all recycled content. The water, the runoff from outside is used. A lot of the Ontario residents nearby compliment the factory because the stack outside is water vapor. It's not smoke. So we work very hard on the plant and the factory on those sustainable practices and are just constantly reinventing that.
All right, we've had a great discussion with Melanie Bisson from Roxul Insulation. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Hey, Here we go. We're gonna make some juice.
It's gonna
You
be
ready?
good.
She's excited. A little bit of kale.
Please don't put this on
I'm putting it all over the line.
It's wet. It needs something. No, it'll go.
Don't break my juicer. Looks good.
You ready to try it?
Come on, baby.
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
It's okay.
You like it?
All right.
They might surprise you.
Hey, she took another sip. You saw it?
Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
Welcome back to Around the House, sponsored by Romac Lumber. I'm your host, Don Magruder, and you're listening to my 790 AM WLBE and Lake-Sumter Television. And we're in our new products show. This is our third segment, and we've got great new products. And today, and for our final segment, I've got Eddie Robson with YKK Windows. And Eddie is a great representative of a great line of products. And Eddie, how are you doing?
I'm doing awesome today, Don. Thanks for having me back in the studio.
We're glad to have you. And today we're going to be talking about one of the most innovative windows, I think, in America. And it's made, won't you take a few minutes and tell us about YKK Windows, where it's made and what it does?
Well, YKK is actually, we started off in the 30s as a zipper company. Most everyone right now can look down at their zipper on their blue jeans and see YKK on their zipper. Well, we decided to take that protection into another area, and we got into the architectural product side. So not only are we the largest zipper manufacturer in the world, but we are also, with our commercial and residential line, the largest window and door manufacturer in the world. My residential line is made in Macon, Georgia.
So you make the windows in Macon, Georgia, and you ship them down to Florida, and it's really a wonderful window. Let's talk a little bit about the window itself. It's pretty innovative. Give the features and benefits. First off, you got several different lines. Why should someone choose YKK?
Well, the first thing about YKK is we offer a wide variety of different sizes, shapes. We offer the single hung, the double hung, the picture, transom windows, the casements, the ones that crank outward, the awning windows, many types of geometrical shapes. We have the best high-performance glass in the industry with a great lifetime warranty. These windows are made just across the Georgia line there in Macon, Georgia, and we are serviced locally by you guys. And you guys, of course, offer the turnkey installation package, which really supports us here in the field in Lake County.
And the windows come in single and double hung. Explain, Eddie, what a single and double hung window is.
Well, the first thing is, Don, most everyone, if you're sitting at home right now listening in, take a look at your window, and you may have the bottom window rise upward. Well, that's just really a single hung window because it's sliding up and down. My actual window will tilt inward. My single hung, also the fixed unit in the top is removable. So that's great in new construction because you can actually remove both of those pieces of glass and use it as a drywall window. In replacement window, I offer the double hung window, which truly a double hung window is made to crack the window, and not mean crack it or break it, but I mean slide the upper sash down about 6 inches, the bottom sash up about 6 inches, and it allows us circulation throughout the house. With that being offered in the replacement market, that's what we're trying to do to offer people here in Florida a better way to cool down their homes when we have nice weather such as what we're having right now.
And for a lot of our northern visitors during the summer, most of them are used to a double hung window because that's the standard up north to crack the bottom top part of your window to ventilate the house. The other thing is a lot of people still look at their windows and they have aluminum windows. And this time of year, you'll see sweat on the windows. If you go to an aluminum window and you touch it on the inside and you feel the temperature on the outside, you virtually have there's no insulation value. And that's the reason why YKK and these vinyl windows are becoming so popular, isn't it?
Yes, Don, that's truly a fact. If you take a look at a vinyl window frame, you'll see that it's actually honeycombed. We do that because we would like for the cavities of the honeycomb shape of the vinyl frame to actually have a chamber where air can actually gradually work together and equal out throughout the frame. Whereas an aluminum window being a conductor of heat, the outside heat actually transfers right through the frame of the window and into the house.
The best way to describe it is a Coke can. If you take a Coke can and you put it in a room, at room temperature, you're going to see sweat beading off of it. A lot of people this time of year in Florida have what I call Coke can windows. The sweat just pouring from because it's cold on the outside and it's room temperature. vinyl window stops that, don't it?
Yes, sir, Don. If you actually take a look at the test results of a vinyl window versus a single pane aluminum window, you will see that if the outside temperature is 20 degrees, if you have an aluminum window, the inside of that glass is going to be about 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Whereas if you have a vinyl frame and you also use our high energy glass that we offer on our glass packages, you will actually have an interior room temperature of about 61 degrees.
And Eddie, that is something you just brought up that we do need to discuss. YKK has some of the best insulated glass. Talk about the various types of insulated glass and the low E glasses that are available at YKK.
Well, that's the greatest thing about being in the glass industry, Don, is we're always working to better our technology with energy ratings. As the energy ratings get tougher here in Florida, we have to be tougher with our research and development and coming out with new and more and greater innovative products. With that being said, we've worked very hard with Cardinal. We've provided them feedback. Cardinal being the best window company in the whole wide world, we actually have developed a thing called Low E, and they had developed it about 20-some years ago. But as time has moved on, we've actually done better, getting better ratings, energy ratings through the glass. And what that is actually what we sell, and it's a basic glass package on every one of our units. It's called 270 glass. And that means you're getting 2 coatings of a silver coating in between your glass that you really can't see. And it's letting in 70% light. With that being said, you're going to drop your energy ratings probably about 36% a month on your monthly electricity bill.
And the other thing that you guys are offering is something called neat glass. Talk a minute about neat glass.
Well, Don, to be honest with you, that neat glass is pretty neat. And the reason I say that is because it's a technology. Again, like I say, we're always working with glass. And here in Central Florida, everybody wants more glass in their windows so they can see the landscaping. They want to be able to look out this lens of this nice window in their living room to see their yard and their kitchen. I mean, from their kitchen, they want to be able to see their garden. So what we have done is we've developed a technology, again, with Cardinal, in which they actually put a couple of coatings on the exterior of the glass. Glass is actually very porous, and that's why it actually gets very dirty. The grime gets caught up in the pores of the glass, whether it be bird droppings, sideways sand that we encounter here in Florida, whatever it may be. Well, in those 2 coatings, we have a chemical that we put in there called titanium dioxide. And with the other coating, it's called a silicone dioxide. And what happens is we actually make the glass very smooth. And when the UV lights from the outside sun actually hit the grime and the dirt inside the pores of this glass, it decomposes it into carbon. That way, the next time when you receive rain, which we typically do here in Florida, the actual rain will just rinse your window right off.
And that's the beautiful thing. It's basically a self-washing window.
It really is, Don.
So if you're a homeowner and you have a situation in which you've got upstairs and you're trying to you can't hardly wash the windows, you definitely want to look possibly at neat glass, don't you?
Absolutely, Don. With the size windows that we sell here in Florida, some of them being 12 to 14 feet wide, imagine trying to tilt those in and clean those. It's much easier to have some neat glass on the exterior and let the nature take care of the work.
And the nice thing about YKK windows, you only use the top hardware. Your hardware is heavy hardware, and it's built to last, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely, sir. That's the greatest thing about my product is that we control everything that we do within our plant. We control the actual extrusion of the vinyl, which is our recipe. It's YKK's only recipe. I actually have the probably the best extruder in all of North America extruding my vinyl for the windows. So if you take the consideration that you've got the best glass, the best vinyl extruder in the nation, along with the best warranty, it's a made-to-order product. We control everything on this window. We're actually so proud of our window. We put YKK AP, and the AP means Architectural Products, on the lock itself. And we also etch our initials into the glass, Don.
Eddie, YKK windows can be used in all kind of applications, but also understand it's not like the old vinyl windows. The technology has really evolved. This vinyl is made to last a long time, isn't it?
Don, we put a lifetime warranty on our product, and we can do that because we control all of the quality, we control the lead time, we control everything on our product, and we stand behind it with the lifetime warranty, and that includes the glass. If you purchase my window today, in 23 years from now, you're having a bagel one morning and drinking your coffee, and you see a fogged up unit. you'll be able to tilt that window in and know that it's a YKK window, and you'll make one phone call, and we'll make sure we get that switched out for you.
And that's the nice thing about YKK windows. They're actually a tilt product. They're not a glazed-in product. You can just pop them in, and not very easy to service, aren't they?
Absolutely, Don. For the most part, the single hungs and the double hungs are, but if you get into some direct set, depending upon the architectural look of the house, we're custom, we custom build these windows. So whatever the homeowner's really looking for, new construction, replacement windows, we're offering a brand new door line now where I can go up to 4 panels wide, 16 feet wide, 8 feet tall. You've got a lifetime warranty on all of it. It all looks the same. It's architecturally correct. We've got a seal nose on our window products. That's what we do. We try, as a vinyl window company, we try and emulate what a true wood window looks like, and I think we've done very well at it.
You're listening to Around the House, sponsored by Romac Lumber. I'm your host, Don Magruder, and we're having a wonderful conversation today with Eddie Robson. He's a sales representative for YKK Windows, YKK Architectural Products, and he's talking about the YKK windows that are built in Macon, Georgia, that are now being available in the state of Florida. They're vinyl windows with this great new technology, plus they have neat glass, and in addition, you can get low E and low E high performance, right?
Yes, sir, Don, and we also can fill those units up with argon gas, which will make the air in between the two pieces of glass a little bit more dense. The main thing here in Florida is it's called the solar heat gain coefficient. And what we try to do is just prevent all of this light coming in through the window. And again, with this low E coating, I cannot stress it to people enough. If you want to kick heat back to its source, you get some low E in your glass, because that's what it does. In the wintertime, if you want to crank your furnace up and keep your house at 72 degrees, the heat from the inside of your house is going to bounce off the interior piece of the glass and stay inside your house. When it's 95 degrees outside and you want it to be 72 inside your home, the UV light's going to hit from the sun, and it's going to bounce off the glass and right back to the sun. So low E just really kicks heat back to its source, Don. That's all it does.
Eddie, there's a belief in the next year or so that aluminum windows will not be allowed in the state of Florida because of energy codes. There's two different type of ways of looking at the code. There's prescriptive code and performance code. And in a lot of codes right now, aluminum windows are not allowed, but because they can do the whole house with air conditioning, they allow it. Realistically, if you're doing a new home or new remodel, you should really consider using vinyl low E windows, because in the next couple of years, that's going to be the standard, isn't it?
I do believe so, Don. I tell you, I've got great experience up in the Carolinas. Very rare you see aluminum windows up that way, and it's kind of migrated this way, and it's now hit Lake County, Florida. I do see it spreading down through Orlando, and just every day more and more aluminum guys are switching over to vinyl because of the energy codes.
Now, Eddie, you have a great website. If someone's listening today or watching this today and would like to find out more about YKK Windows, how can they find more out about it?
Well, you can go online and check out YKKAP.com. That again is www.YKKAP.com, and the AP stands for Architectural Products.
A lot of older homes around here, especially the homes that need new windows, have custom sizes. I don't think anything was hardly built in the state of Florida standard. Can people get custom size windows with YKK?
The greatest thing about us, Don, is we do not have a big inventory of windows sitting in the plant waiting for people to order them. We are our software program for our customers is called Made to Order. We don't make the windows until the customer actually orders them. Once they order them, we take a look at what type of application it's going to be. We provide our professional feedback. I partner up with Romac, and we actually decide on what type of accessories, trim, color, grids, type of glass. The list goes on and on and on, Don.
And you are able to provide windows that fit in block homes as well as wood frame homes, aren't you?
Absolutely, Don. We offer the fin and the flange windows as well as box frame.
Now, unlike a lot of companies, you're also starting to introduce some color vinyl, aren't you?
Absolutely, Don. Because of the aluminum market and where we see it's heading, there's a lot of people out there with the bronze aluminum products in their homes, the dark colors. And so we've actually launched an an acrylic laminate on the exterior of our color of our vinyl window that allows us to really get a dark rustic bronze looking color.
And the problem with vinyl in the past with the colors has been the heat. Do you think y'all got that figured out?
Absolutely, Don. It's funny about this window, but this bronze laminate that we put on this window actually retains less heat than my white or my tan vinyl window by itself. So it's pretty amazing how this material performs.
So when you talk about this new YKK line of windows, you're talking about a window that is vinyl, that will not conduct heat or cold from the outside. You can get any type of low E glass, even with neat glass. Now you can get it in colors, plus you can get custom sizes. You can get it in double hung, which a lot of window companies don't make a double hung vinyl. So that's really a whole new avenue for vinyl windows a lot of people don't realize today.
Absolutely, Donna. Let's not forget Energy Star rating, and let's also not forget the lifetime warranty.
And the other thing that's got to be recognized is now that you've also expanded your patio doors, and you're starting to do a lot of things in patio doors. Take a quick moment to talk about our patio doors.
Don, we have actually launched a brand new, we call it the high definition or heavy duty series patio door. We've spent many hours in the research and development department trying to achieve Florida ratings and Miami-Dade ratings for larger vinyl sliding glass doors, because in the past everybody has typically gone to aluminum. Well, again, we're introducing a vinyl door now that we can actually go 4 panels wide. We can offer it 16 feet wide, and we can also go as high as 8 feet tall. But every door is custom built, no minimum sizes.
Well, that's a wonderful product. Once again, thank you, Eddie Robinson from YKK Windows. It's been a great show, and thank you for watching and listening today to the new product showcase sponsored by Romac Lumber. Had 3 great new products: YKK, Roxul, and the folks from Royal Molding. Until next Monday, we'll see you around the house.